The man exerted all his strength and managed to kill all the 7 fin demons. However, who would have thought that? There are actually 8 fin demons that go beyond human understanding. Even though he was covered in injuries and had exhausted his last bit of strength, the man still fell into deep self-blame. He did not fulfill his responsibility as the strongest. He attempted to pass on the information about the 8 fin demon, only to find that it was already too late. With his own eyes, he saw the 8 fin demon extending its claws towards him, but had no strength to fight back. This kind of feeling is probably death. After an unknown period of time, a beam of light unexpectedly emerged from the darkness. When the man opens his eyes again, everything around him becomes unfamiliar. Standing in the line of the soldiers' training, he hears the instructor yelling, "Stand at attention," with a burden on the back. After fumbling around, he finds that even this face does not look like his own. This feeling is too real, not like being in a dream. At this moment, the instructor is telling them what it means to be a warrior. It turns out that this is a human-built town named Hellos. 60 years ago, 6 supergiant ancient king monuments fell from the sky, bringing the apocalypse to our planet. The creatures named demons that gushed out from inside massacred our humanity. In our humanity, after experiencing the most brutal battle that almost led to species extinction, finally developed a way to fight against the demons on an equal footing by grafting equipment. By using the cores recovered from within the demons, humans can undertake grafting to temporarily gain power comparable to that of the demons. At that time, our greatest and strongest human warrior, the man revered as the king by all the warriors, led all the warriors worldwide to confront the strongest level of demonic tide that had ever erupted in history. The great battle lasted for several weeks, with the sky darkening and the earth shaking. Eventually, the human warriors repelled the demonic tide, dealing a heavy blow to the demons. But at the same time, we also permanently lost countless great and powerful warriors. And even the once strongest human warrior, also perished in the battle with several of the highest level 7 fin demons. The man realizes then that he has traveled through time to 60 years in the future and possesses a completely different body from before. However, humanity still doesn't understand the true strength of the demons. The highest level of the demons is not the 7 fin, but the 8 fin. At present, the man's distraction attracts the attention of the instructor. This instructor named G.L. Hall is the 3rd captain of Hello City. He comes over and asks the man's name. The man doesn't know whether he should reveal his identity as because no one would believe that he is who has traveled through time from 60 years ago into this emaciated body. Before the man speaks, the instructor says, "I didn't expect that. You actually have the same name as the greatest warrior, It's simply an insult to this great name." It turns out that the name on the man's name tag is prominently written as This name provokes the instructor's anger, and he throws a punch at the man. A stupid idiot who doesn't even understand the most basic warrior qualities dares to desecrate the great name. The man is hit by the coach and flies a few meters away, fortunately being supported from behind. He is surprised at the weakness of this waste body, and he can't react to such an attack. At this moment, the instructor says, "In the upcoming warrior assessment, I will pay extra attention to you." Following that, the instructor gives an order for all soldiers to proceed to the assessment area for a physical fitness test. When the instructor is gone, the soldier who just helped asks whether he is okay, and he introduces himself. "My name is Lon Snow, and your name is right? That's quite an impressive name. I look forward to learning from you in the future." At this moment, a female voice sounds. "How dare you call yourself such a clueless person? You think by having the same name, you possess the same strength. How naive." Gets angry. What does my name have to do with her? He intends to catch up and argue. However, Snow stops him, telling him that this girl is the most promising candidate warrior in this batch, Situlu. This girl, known as the non-smiling Azura, is the daughter of the most famous martial arts family in Hello's town, the Situ family. Unaware of this, feels that the surname, Situ, sounds familiar. Just as Snow is helping the man up, the sound of a camera's shutter clicks, capturing the moment when Snow assisted Wow, what an appealing show of male friendship. The 2 men look up as a girl with pink hair comes closer, holding a camera and speaking with fascination. "Don't mind me, you guys go on." This girl is called Todoro Tomo, and she is one of the warriors being assessed. I was drawn in by the spark of your budding bromance, the girl says with a dreamy expression. Ha, that's really good stuff. The two are speechless. She is really a silly but cute girl. Upon reaching the assessment venue, the first round of testing is a long-distance endurance run. An is brimming with confidence, despite his physical condition. He considers himself the strongest warrior. To even talk about what constitutes a warrior in his presence is utterly ridiculous. In such a level of assessment, he will definitely dazzle everyone with his horrifying results. The man bursts out at the fastest speed, hoping to take the first place in one go and break the record. Indeed, a record has been broken. An, finishing last, has set the worst record in the history of long-distance running assessments. An never thinks that the body could be in such an incredibly bad condition. In the following several events, he is the last one without exception. Even a casual arm strength test can easily sprain the wrist. What an idiot! Lu's face is filled with disdain and contempt. The results of the first round of physical fitness tests are out, and An ranks last overall, marking the worst and most outrageous performance in history. The referee asks the captain if it is unnecessary for him to participate in the second round of assessment with such poor results, suggesting that he could be eliminated directly. The captain shakes his head and says that although the thin monkey has little hope, he has the right to participate in the second round of assessment. Estimate this is his last assessment. Let's start the second round of evaluation. The second round of assessment is the grafting device synchronization rate test. As long as the synchronization rate reaches 10%, it can pass the assessment. The man thought to himself, to test the grafting synchronization rate, there is a chance. After all, 60 years ago, I, who was the strongest one, had an average synchronization rate stable above 96%. Though the physical fitness is not good, the synchronization rate depends on the will. Let those of you who treat me as a joke see what the synchronization rate of the strongest warrior is really like. An puts on the gear, looks at the connector on his chest, and can't help but exclaim, is this the grafting device from 60 years later? It's much lighter than it used to be. The first one to be assessed is Lu, with a synchronization rate as high as 39%, and her excellent result has sparked the pursuit and discussion of the crowd. This must be the best this year. Trained by a martial arts family, it's indeed different. No wonder she's the strongest new recruit. With either a single ponytail or hair down, she is incredibly beautiful. Coming from a good family, being strong, and looking good, she's just like an unattainable lily on a high mountain. Lu, who is complimented by everyone, is secretly pleased. Well done, 39%. I think everyone saw that just now. Now I'm really in the spotlight. Though I don't mind having more admirers, it's better to keep a low profile. Stay calm, Lu, you need to stay calm. On the other side, An thinks to himself, very impressive, to have a synchronization rate of 39% in the test. Snow walked over and put his hand on Aang's shoulder, saying, she is indeed very strong, isn't she? She looks really energetic, and I can sense the powerful aura beneath her slender frame. An replies in agreement, I also feel that. But it seems like you aren't nervous at all, Snow says, observing Aang's calm appearance. Oh, nothing much, I'm quite used to it, An says naturally. Used to it, Snow looks at Aang's seemingly matter-of-fact expression and feels curious. As the assessment goes on, many newbies who contact the grafting device for the first time all have a look of pain on their faces. When conducting the grafting for the first time, the body will experience certain stress and withstand the power impact from the demon core. Some people give up voluntarily because they can't bear the pain. Of course, there are also some unexpected results. Todoro, with a synchronization rate of 30%, passed the assessment. The team leader, who is the main assessor, shows a look of joy on his face and says, it seems that some excellent candidates have been discovered in this assessment. The assistant answers, yes, including Todoro. There are already 6 candidates in this assessment with a synchronization rate of 30% or higher, who are potential warriors. Compared to other sea-level towns, the overall quality of our batch of novice warriors is not bad. Hearing this, Captain Hall gives a cold snort and says, that's not necessarily the case. There are also those with very poor quality. As he says this, he looks at An on the first floor of the testing ground. Meanwhile, An is rubbing his hands, getting ready to shine and amaze everyone. The onlookers don't hesitate to show their ridicule. That guy named On is up. He was the idiot who ranked at the bottom in the first round of assessment. With his physique, he's probably going to be crushed by the load and spit blood on the spot. Keep laughing, you bunch of small-minded brats. Everything is proceeding as planned. And at this point, On is eager to witness the shocked looks on the faces of everyone. On mounts the test bench and chooses the red power core without a second thought, as he is quite familiar with this procedure. On the battlefield, the recovered demon cores are divided into 6 categories, and the most common ones are red, yellow, green, and blue. Red signifies strength, yellow denotes defense, green indicates recovery, and blue stands for agility. But the purple core representing illusionary energy, and the black core representing time and space, are very scarce. In particular, the black core is an exceptionally rare existence. The so-called synchronization rate essentially relies on the will. The robustness of the will determines the degree of load endured by the demon core, as well as the degree of control over it. The grafting is successful, and the test starts. The moment the device is activated, a strong reaction begins. This catches the attention of the crowd, and Lou, who is sitting in the lounge, also notices it. Looking up, it is him. Lou can't believe her own eyes. The device keeps beeping, and the screen shows that Ang's synchronization rate is continuously increasing, instantly reaching 40%. The soaring numbers draw exclamations from the crowd, and this Ang is simply a hidden master. Faced with this number, Ang is not satisfied. What is 40%? He was the one who had a 96% synchronization rate before. Keep rising for me. 45%, 50%, 60%. The numbers on the screen are still soaring. All is shocked by such an incredible synchronization rate, wondering if there's a problem somewhere. 65%, 70%, 80%. The crowd can't believe their eyes. What's happening? Does that guy cheat? Is there a problem with the device? At this moment, the man thinks, I am the one who is revered as the king by all the soldiers. If it weren't for this inferior core, if it weren't for this frail body, my presence would make you all bend the knee. That's the gap between you and me, kids. Suddenly, Ang feels something unusual. The entire body feels as if it is quickly descending. What happened? The power is gone. Ang's body starts to show rejection reactions. It's not good. This body can't handle the load. And Ang spurts out a mouthful of blood. The grafting device explodes and separates, and the synchronization rate suddenly drops to 10%. In the observation room, the assistant reports to the captain that the anomaly core is detected, which probably causes the data disruption and the demon core to shatter. Captain Hall sighs inwardly, realizing that it is an equipment malfunction. Is the final synchronization rate 10%? Hall asks. The assistant replies, yes, it just barely passed the test. At this time, Ang lies prone on the ground, but fortunately, the doctor's examination shows that it is only due to physical exhaustion, and a short rest will be okay. Now the crowd begins to chatter again. I told you, it's because of the anomaly in that demon core. I didn't think he was really that good. How could such a small frame have such a terrifying synchronization rate? It's almost comparable to the level of a captain in an S-class town. Are you okay? Snow runs over and helps Ang up, asking worriedly. At this moment, Ang is still fainted and completely unable to speak. Lou, who has been observing secretly, breathes a sigh of relief at this moment. Humph, what a false alarm. I thought there would be someone more shining in this town than me. Never. Snow picks up the weak Ang and walks towards the lounge. Ang thinks to himself, I'm such an idiot. I actually tried to compete with the kids. Fortunately, I passed the assessment. Todoro is completely indifferent to other matters, and is totally immersed in taking photos from all kinds of angles. After 20 minutes, Ang in the lounge has already regained consciousness. Remembering what has just happened, Ang feels very strange. What was that just now? It was like suddenly sucking all the energy out in one breath from the depths of his heart. This has never happened before. Obviously, this will could last until a synchronization rate of at least 80%. Even with this kind of lowest level core, it shouldn't have broken. Just then, the door of the lounge opens, and when they hear the command to stand at attention, everyone stands up. Ang shakily gets to his feet and manages to stand in line with the others with great effort. Captain Hall walked in and stood tall in front of everyone, saying, Congratulations to all of you for entering the final round of assessment, the practical training. You are going to face the demon for the first time in your life. I hope all of you can pass the assessment safely and smoothly. Line up and proceed to the third assessment area. Move out. With the captain's command, the soldiers run towards the practical assessment area. Still not fully recovered, An struggles to get to his feet and follows at the rear, gasping for air. Just then, Al notices that there is something unusual at the position where An has just rested, and there is a red object in the corner of the floor. He goes over and picks it up, finding that it is the broken red core of An that has just broken. Looking at the shattered core in his hand, the captain suddenly frowns slightly, looking at Aang's distant back and clenching his fist. You really piqued my curiosity, Aang. I'd like to see what kind of performance you'll show in the next round of the wall fog hunting assessment beyond the wall.